Well, hey, good day to you. This is Todd. I am a regular dude walking in the Word. Hey, today we're continuing through Exodus. This is our second episode in Exodus, and it's Exodus 1:11 through 14 that we're going to be reading today. And it's entitled Persecution Breeds Growth. All right, so I'm going to jump right in here and start reading. And this is, again, Exodus. Exodus chapter 1, verses 11 through 14. It says this: So they put the slave masters over them, the Israelites, to oppress them with forced labor. And they built Pithom and Ramses as store cities for Pharaoh. But the more they were oppressed, the more they multiplied and spread. So the Egyptians came to dread the Israelites and worked them ruthlessly. They made their lives bitter with harsh labor in brick and mortar, and with all kinds of work in the fields. In all their harsh labor, the Egyptians worked them ruthlessly. Okay, and worked them ruthlessly they did. They were the ones responsible for putting all those bricks, which all the great monuments that were built at that time were built by the Israelites. Okay, so I had heard a statistic of the amount of bricks they put together was just massive. I can't quote exactly how many it was, but it was massive. The amount of bricks they made, especially for all these structures of the pyramids and all kinds of stuff like that. So, but they were being persecuted. This was Pharaoh's idea to hey, we need to stop these guys, and so let's make them slaves. And so they do that, but you're going to see that persecution breeds growth. Okay, he's trying to persecute them, but they continue to multiply out. Okay. So I'm going to compare here. The church is the same way. You start persecuting the church, and it's going to grow. All right. So you have countries, and I'm not going to name the countries here, but you have countries where persecution exists in those countries if you're a Christian. And what is happening to the church? It's growing. Okay. Some of the most heavily persecuted areas, the church is growing, and they're trying desperately hard to eliminate the church, but the church actually grows in those areas. But then you get also areas where there is no persecution, much like the United States, and what's happening to the church? It's kind of shrinking. It's getting wimpy. Okay, much like if you were to, so I do running, and if I stop running altogether, and I say, hey, I'm going to do a marathon next week. It's not going to work out so well for me because I haven't trained up my muscles to do that. And the training is really kind of beating them up and then letting them heal, beating up, let them heal, beating them up, let them heal. Okay? So that cycle helps build up those muscles so that when I'm ready to train for a marathon, I can do that. There was some trees planted in, there was a science lab, and they said, hey, let's create this utopian environment, this perfect environment, and we're going to plant some trees in it. So they built this really, it was a dome, built this dome and had all these plants in it and animals in it and so forth. And they had these trees in it, and the trees were growing, and they thought everything was good. Well, later on, they had, these trees were big, okay? But when they went to, someone went to lean on it one day and the tree fell over, and they were like, what in the world? Why did it fall over? Well, because this is why the tree fell over, is because it had no wind in there to make it tougher. And so it was in this perfect environment where there was never any wind at all. And so it never was used to the side force, and it grew up that way. And then when a force of the side did come, like someone leaning against it, then it just fell over. Okay. And so the trees, when they grow, they need those winds to push them back and forth, and the hurricane to come and push them back and forth, and they will become stronger. And that's the way persecution is with the church. That persecution is going to come, and it's going to knock you back and forth, but in the end, the church is going to become stronger. Okay. You might have some fallout, you might have some people dead and everything, but in the end, the church will be stronger. All right, thank you for watching. I'm a regular dude walking in the Word, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow as we continue our journey through Exodus. Lord's blessing. I'll see you then.